But I did laugh my ass off when the guy was like, "Oh yeah, that surfer dude. I sucked him off." Did you catch that?
What?
Did I leave the stove on?
And we're back with, I guess, as I put down, basically the saving grace of comic book movies.
I'd give that title to another movie.
I don't know. In one year we got Batman, Robin, Spawn, and Steel. They're pretty fucking hard. The last good one was Batman Returns.
Yeah.
But 1998 was like the beginning of like, hey, comic book movies aren't complete shit if you give a fuck. And I think Blade is a good example of that. It's also a very good example of what action movies were in 1998. I think we both agree Wesley Snipes is the perfect Blade.
Yep, he's exactly what I imagined.
Because Blade's just a super like serious guy, and Wesley Snipes just has like the ability to sell that really well. But he's also funny whenever like the cops shoot him in the hospital.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
As I the way I saw the action, I think most of it is just stupidly cool. The main thing that made me go, is this stupid or cool, was when he had like the little razor thing and he throws it and like it does like the whole 360 cam and he catches it. I was like, that was fucking dumb, but that was also cool as shit. He decides to, at his success of defeating all the people in the club, he just does like this weird like, yeah. I was like, what? Blade does not seem like the guy to congratulate himself in fist bump formation.
Just like giving himself like high fives and fist bumps. Like, you did it! In the museum, that little girl surprised him so much. Because he was like, hey, give me your hand, I'm gonna help you. And she's like,
I'll give you my foot.
Yeah.
With the
So he's like, wait, hey, what is this? And then everyone else like counters him, but he's still like kicking ass until he gets, attacked from behind. That was probably my favorite action scene because it was so contained. Because the last action scene is retarded.
It is. I was just gonna bring that up. I like that he grabs the sunglasses.
Yeah.
As dumb as it like the and then it's like, it's stupid. It just looks so dumb. Like, do you remember the part where like him and this guy are air kicking each other for like 20 solid seconds?
Wesley Snipes is like a legit martial artist. So like, I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing, but the guy that they hired to like fight against him probably...
Well, I'm pretty sure the stunt guy knew. I don't think the coordinator was like...
Yeah, they were like, just swing your legs around.
The movie still has a pretty entertaining story. Probably David S. Goyer's like small handful of good movies he's written.
I'm not a big fan of the dialogue.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Well, no, it's a 90s action movie, also a 90s comic book movie. It didn't have a lot of dialogue that was going to be like sold very well.
I know these vampires have like nicknames and stuff, but I just feel like Blade wouldn't say like, oh, I'm gonna kill all you suckheads.
Is that like the vampire N-word?
I guess so.
Suckheads? I mean, technically he could use that. He is vampire.
Yeah.
Is it racist if a vampire says it?
Right. And then like calling the police officer like a hooker.
Speaking of that, there's a guy in a leather jacket with like body armor beating the shit out of a cop in broad daylight, and no one says anything. How do you feel Steven Dorff as the villain? Because in my honesty, I don't buy it. I don't buy him as a threatening villain. I know he's supposed to be a douche, but he just seems like a jerk, not a villain.
I didn't really care for him because I feel like if the purebloods would have just taken him, like,
Seriously?
taken care of him,
Yeah.
then, like, this movie wouldn't be a thing. He was mainly just an asshole.
One big example of, like, you don't really see how he accomplishes this stuff.
Mhm.
How did he find Blade's hideout? He found it, and that's fine. How? There's a specific scene I'm thinking about when it comes to this is as 90s as fuck editing as you can get. Can you guess what scene it is?
The car chase?
Yup.
Oh, yeah.
The fast forwarding, fast editing, like, audio crossing fucking
That
car
was-
chase. I couldn't even tell what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, that was painful to watch. It's the most 90s movie, like, I've seen in a very long time.
The effects are kind of dated, but I can't super blame that because I mean we watched Superman. But it's CGI. That's the difference.
Yeah, like,
But some of the things I don't know how they would have pulled off practically, like the skeleton thing.
those skeletons do look awful, but yeah,
Maybe if they were up to date, it'd look cool.
I'm a little bit more forgiving on the CGI because I know, like, depending on budgets and the technology at the time, it's like there's only so much you can do.
Right.
Now, when the dude got cut in half,
Oh, the
I was like, what is that?
There's like a whole like 10 minutes where like they're building up to the ceremony and he's like, okay, you stand here and we're gonna do this, and then Blade starts bleeding out and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have taken like that long. This build up is so long you get bored. Because I was kind of invested in the whole movie for the most part. Nothing really took me away from the movie except like when a weird edit was in there. But like right there, nothing's happening. Because you know it's a superhero movie. Of course the big bad guy has to get stronger
Yeah.
for Blade to fight him. So he's gonna get this power up. Why does it take so fucking long to do it?
My biggest problem with that, I'm not sure he should have gotten the blood god because remember the girlfriend killed one of the like officials. Because,
Yeah, who stood in her place?
Yeah, because I know he was like, oh yeah, do you think he really cares about you?
And she killed him?
Yeah, I was like, so does the rituals still work?
Yeah, I was saying that too. I was like, I guess there's more than, but at that point, why'd you bring all of them?
Yeah.
So remember, whenever she wakes up in Blade's like garage, she kind of like she's checking everything out. There's that plant in the locker.
Yeah. What was the point of it?
What the fuck was the point of the goddamn plant? Because then later, I was like,
slices it.
I get the symbolism. He's cutting it off at the roots.
Maybe that was the whole point.
Really? That's stupid. Because at that point, was he just waiting for, like, the symbolistic time to be like, when am I going to kill this plant? So let's get to spoilers. I don't have a lot. The whole, how do you feel, because I hate it, the undead mother/incest thing.
I'm gonna break this down in two parts. One, not a surprise that she was alive. Two, I hate the incest.
Clearly he wasn't into it, but I was like, that's your son, though? Why are you trying to, like, seduce him like that?
Like, I get vampires are always, like, super horny, apparently. But, like, yeah.
That's your
it's his
son.
son. Like, and she even recognized it. She was like, I'm your mother, don't hurt me. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't like that they brought her back. It just feels unnecessary. What does that do? Also, Steven Dorff had his mother the whole time. Why is it now he uses that?
Yeah.
He could have used that way earlier and fucked him up faster. Like, it's one of those things where it's like the villain just waits so long to do it. It's like, it's just a movie. It's like, but you make your character stupid. Like, I don't care if, like, the science is movie or, like, this movie magic or movie science, that's fine. But, like, when a character clearly has an easy way of solving something and they don't do it, that's dumb. And on top of the whole dead mother thing, why is Steven Dorff the guy who did it? That was like, is that even a fucking necessary twist? Who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
The only reason it's there is so you get Blade can have closure when he kills him. But he was gonna kill him anyway.
Yeah, Blade wanted him dead the most.
Like, it adds nothing. He was gonna have to kill him anyway. That would have been a better twist maybe for a sequel. Like the whole Uncle Ben murder in Spider-Man. Like in Amazing Spider-Man, he never finds out who did it. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Because it's more based off the death itself, not the person who did it. Yeah, like the whole third act just bothered me. Once Blade gets captured, from when the dead mother reveal happens and onward, I don't like the movie. Because the action is not as cool as it was earlier. The effects take over, and they weren't ready to do that. The movie logic kind of goes out and tries to pull too many twists at one time. Mm. But I think it's a good movie.
Because I told you this. I fucking hated it. Then when I rewatched it again, I was like, yeah, okay, it has its problems, but like, clearly it's a product of its time.
Right.
So I can't really hate it. And it tried. Like, there's effort into it. But I will say this. My biggest problem in the entire movie was that fucking subplot of the fucking nurse and the ex.
Oh, the ex-boyfriend?
Why? But I did laugh my ass off when the guy was like, oh yeah, that surfer dude, I sucked him off. Did you catch that?
What?
They're like, it was right before they like delivered her to the ex-boyfriend underground. He was like, oh yeah, that surfer guy, I sucked him dry. And I was like, oh. But then I had to think, I was like, well, of course vampires would talk like that.
Final rating for Blade? I think for a 90s comic book movie, holds up much better than most of them. Still pretty entertaining. It just has some weak points in the final act. I think it's the first time I've liked a movie more than you when it comes to like when we agree on the same faults on it.
Probably.
Alright, well, we'll catch you guys next time with Blade 2.
This is gonna be awful. Bye!